Welcome to World Mission Topics, Lesson 8. Today's topic is restoration. The lesson text is coming out of 2 Chronicles chapter 29, verses 1 through 36, 2 Kings chapter 22, verses 1 through 20, 2 Kings chapter 23, verses 1 through 25, Nehemiah chapter 1, verses 2 through 11, and Nehemiah chapter 2, verses 3 through 18. The memory verse, 2 Kings chapter 23, verse 25. And like unto him was there no king before him that turned to the Lord with all his heart, and with all his soul, and with all his might, according to all the law of Moses. Neither after him arose there any like him. The key terms for today's lesson: restoration and renewal. The definition of restoration: the act of repairing, renewing, or rebuilding. Renewal: an instance of resuming an activity or state after an interruption. Renewed purpose: God restores us physically, spiritually, financially, so that we can fulfill His purpose. We must be strategic in allowing God to restore various areas of our lives. List those areas where you need restoration, so that your purpose can be renewed. And I will restore to you the years that the locusts have eaten, the cankerworm and the caterpillar, and the palmer worm, my great army which I sent among you. And ye shall eat in plenty, and be satisfied, and praise the name of the Lord your God, that have dealt wondrously with you, and my people shall never be ashamed. And that's from Joel chapter 2, verses 25 through 26. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord, because they called thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. And that's Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 17. King Hezekiah, repair God's house. Restoration includes repairing items. For some, we need to repair those areas in God's house so that we can receive blessings. Servant leaders seek God for those areas that need our immediate attention regarding God's house. Organize the believers so that the task can be completed with joy. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, according to all that David his father had done. He, in the first year of his reign, in the first month, opened the doors of the house of the Lord and repaired them. And that's 2 Chronicles chapter 29, verses 2 and 3. Then Hezekiah the king rose early and gathered the rulers of the city and went up to the house of the Lord. And Hezekiah rejoiced, and all the people, that God had prepared the people. For the thing was done suddenly. And that's 2 Chronicles chapter 29, verse 20, and then verse 36. King Josiah's reforms. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, and walked in all the way of David his father, and turned not aside to the right hand or to the left. Go ye, inquire of the Lord for me, and for the people, and for all Judah, concerning the words of this book that is found. For great is the wrath of the Lord that is kindled against us, because our fathers have not hearkened unto the words of this book, to do according unto all that which is written concerning us. And that's 2 Kings chapter 22, verses 2 through 13. So Hilkiah the priest, and Ahikam, and Achbor, and Shaphan, and Asahiah went unto Huldah the prophetess, the wife of Shalem, the son of Tikvah, the son of Harhaz, keeper of the wardrobe. Now she dwelt in Jerusalem in the college, and they communed with her. Behold, therefore, I will gather thee unto thy fathers, and thou shalt be gathered into thy grave in peace, and thy eyes shall not see all the evil which I will bring upon this place. And they brought the king word again. And that's 2 Kings chapter 22, verse 20. And the king stood by a pillar and made a covenant before the Lord, to walk after the Lord, and to keep his commandments, and his testimonies, and his statutes, with all their heart and all their soul, to perform the words of this covenant that were written in this book. And all the people stood to the covenant. And that's 2 Kings chapter 23, verse 3. The passages shared demonstrates what Josiah did to bring reform to Israel. As believers, when we are restoring our lives, God's property, relationships, etc., we must review past practices, decisions, and consequences to determine what reforms are needed. Seek God about the reforms needed, repent, and then expect revival. Nehemiah, rise up and rebuild. Let thine ear now be attentive and thy eyes open, that thou mayest hear the prayer of thy servant, which I pray before thee now, day and night, for the children of Israel thy servants, and confess the sins of the children of Israel, which we have sinned against thee. Both I and my father's house have sinned. We have dealt very corruptly against thee, and have not kept the commandments, nor the statutes, nor the judgments, which thou commandest thy servant Moses. O Lord, I beseech thee, let now thy ear be attentive to the prayer of thy servant, and to the prayer of thy servants, who desire to fear thy name, and prosper, I pray thee, thy servant this day, and grant him mercy in the sight of this man. For I was the king's cupbearer. And that's Nehemiah chapter 1, verses 6 through 11. Then said I unto them, Ye see the distress that we are in, how Jerusalem lieth waste, and the gates thereof are burned with fire. Come and let us build up the wall of Jerusalem, that we be no more a reproach. And that's Nehemiah chapter 2, verse 17. We must put our strategies in action. Nehemiah, one of Israel's great leaders, tells firsthand the powerful story of rebuilding ancient Jerusalem's walls after the exile. In the face of great odds, this rebuilding represented the people's renewal of faith, their overcoming of national shame, and the reformation of their conduct. Dear listeners, start over, resume, get it done. It's time to move, to build, to renew, and restore. The missions application questions. Number 1. As your examination of your walk with Christ, how will you approach using restoration as a strategy? Number 2, list some areas that you believe need to be repaired in your ministry or in God's house. World Missions Prayer Points. Pray that we will recognize the areas in our lives that need to be restored. Pray this: create in me a clean heart and renew a right spirit within me. And pray that the missions team rise up and build ministries across the globe. The end. God bless you, and thank you for joining me today.